Good morning. Day off for me yesterday, but did you generate any green screens yourselves? Maybe you were looking at that Brighton equaliser. Well, it was on paper Bournemouth unlikely to get the win, but it needed some special goal from the Greek hero Kostoulos. Again, a substitute proving effective late on. We see a lot of this pattern, don't we, recently? Subs come on and make a big difference at the end of the match. This is a concerted pattern over the weekend. Kostoulos' goal was just superb. So if you did lay over 1.5 goals because the opening goal was a penalty, and a controversial one at that, and then looked at Brighton perhaps in the +1 market to cover the draw, you'd have been delighted with Kostoulos' late goal. And in any case, if it ended 0-1, you'd have broken even. On paper, at least, Brighton were not expected to lose at home. They've got such a good home record. And Bournemouth ended a horrific run of winless matches without win against Tottenham. So they're on the slight improve. Elsewhere yesterday, SerieA, absolutely no surprise. 2.4 the favourite and 2.6 the favourite. But that probably coming, I think, for Como. Lazio, a very strong under 2.5 goal record, but Como tend to get the better of these kind of sides. I think they got them in the head-to-head as well. No real trading angle they scored in the first half. I would have perhaps looked at Lazio scoring first as a trading angle there. Usual goal fest in the Eredivisie. That's an angle to follow in this particular competition. Young Utrecht, I think, would have got you a trading angle if you stuck with the 1.66 home favourites. All over the place. Look, 0-2 lead for young PSV, and noting the first goal was a penalty, that could have been a low-risk angle in. Not going to cost you much to find out. Then you'd have got the 2 goals here. That's your first cash-out opportunity there. But you've had to be straight out of the blocks with Van der Berg. Like they did Barcelona and Real Sociedad. You called it right, but then they suddenly get in with a winner before you had time to cash out. But had you stuck to your guns, second half, potential angle in with a Menzo goal, and then Plantinga putting the cherry on top, and Gadira making it 5-3. So if you stick with the odds on at home, noting their league position as well, they're below young PSV, so surprising that they were favourite. But an excellent match for those of you who like odds on favourites at home, and I would thoroughly recommend those kind of odds that you saw with young Utrecht. 1.5 to 1.7 seems to be the magic point for odds on favourites at home. So a very good match. You can see there, bang smack in the middle of that, 1.66 favourite there. Elsewhere, well, Elche, I think, deserved on paper, despite the fact this is 2.38 the favourite match. I think they've only had the one loss, and that was against Villarreal. If you look at the standings, that's not too shabby at all. Villarreal are up here. So, to be honest with Elche, no problem. Sevilla did take the lead, and Sevilla have been in awful form. Only 2 wins since something like the 2nd of October. So, no, Elche took the lead. My mistake. So it went the way of my expectations. Sorry, I thought Sevilla were leading at some point. But no, Elche took the lead. So no real trading angle there. I think had Sevilla taken the lead with their inability to win consistently enough, that would have been a reasonably strong angle in yesterday. So it was a bad or tough coupon, at least, to read. Besiktas getting a late winner against Kayserispor. If you stuck with the in-play stats, you'd have been solidly with them. Perhaps possibility of the draw second half there. Did the Turkish Yorkshiremen, Eyopspor, got Nora Batty, Compo and Clegg as their managers. Did the Turkish Yorkshiremen score first? Eyopspor, fantastic stuff, great stuff. Al Tunbas scoring first, the new manager Nora Batty delighted with that one. And the late equaliser for Muleka, if you, again, follow the pre-match odds, 1.37 home favourite. It's a simple technique, isn't it? You just have faith in the market. And just a quick mention of the tennis. Grand Slams you should be getting interested in, particularly over the summer. The timing's not right. It's as simple as that. They're overnight. But in the summer, you're going to get these 5-setters, and they are chock full of trading opportunities. Look at this one here, for example. 1.22 favourite Menzik is 2-1 down. He must win the next set or he's out of the tournament. Any other strong favourite down? How about old Baez or Mapeshi Perikar, who is well known usually for tiebreakers and collecting aces? 2 sets down for the 1.62 favourite. Bang, must win the next set. Doesn't matter about him winning the match or not. It's all about the odds movement from that 2-1 to 2-0 to 2-1. So do spot these. Musetti, brilliant player. Winning the next set, winning the next set, and winning the next. Looks like a retirement for Collignon. You thought it would be a retirement for Musetti, who if you read these excellent previews, it's not a strong play, Musetti, yesterday, because of his record of just retiring recently or not taking part in a match recently. What a pity with Taylor Fritz, one of my favourite players, losing or winning a tiebreaker. I would have preferred him to lose a tiebreaker, because then you can get some nice value about a quite brilliant player. Like some football teams, there's going to be some players that you really take a soft spot to, and they are very, very reliable from a trading perspective. How about our old pal Karen Khachanov? Lost the first set, won the next 2. But I do prefer these 2-0s. In the women's game, it's more urgent, of course. If you lose the first set, you've got to win the second. And, Fernandez didn't quite win the second, but was very, very competitive. So watch out for that. If a strong favourite loses the first set, like Zhang, must win the next set, regardless of whether she wins the match or not. Remember, as traders, we're not after the final result, either in the football or in the tennis. We're after a trading angle. So later on, we've got Belinda Bencic against Katie Bolter at 8:15. Daria Kasatkina, who I really like as well. Naomi Osaka, who is mentally fragile, shall we say. Stefanos Tsitsipas can be a bit hit and miss. He's one of those players where I back him, he loses. I don't back him, he wins. It's one of those frustrating types. But back to today's trading angles, and it's all about the Championship and the Champions League. And I might pop on a go live this evening. So from the tennis, and don't forget, please, do look at yesterday's results and ask yourself, what would I have done? I'll give you just a couple of things to look at. Look at the players, look at their ATP rankings as well, and look at the pre-match odds. It's nice and simple. It really is. So have a look at yesterday's results. Were there any 5-setters? Were there any 2-0s to 2-1s? Were there any 2-1s to 2-2s? This is going to serve you well for the summer. There's a 2-1 here. Look, Teen against Giron. 2 Americans meeting each other. Must win the next set or he's out of the tournament. And boy, does he win it in a tiebreaker. That's all you're after, that odds movement there. So let's get on to today's football. English Championship, I've not researched at all, but I've done an AII for members of FootballTradingProfits.com. So at least you've got some form of research. I'm not researching these lower tiers. I am sorry. It's just pointless exercise. Such a competitive league. All of the research I do can be thrown out of the water with a poor performance. I'll note that Coventry's odds have risen markedly from when I looked at them yesterday. Coventry, well, I was going to say at similar odds when they were 1.61. They were about that in the last match. They conceded the first goal and they went on and won the match. Ipswich, at similar odds at the weekend, were very, very emphatic at home. I think they scored the first 2 goals, so unlikely to see any trading angles from these two today. They would be my main focus in the Championship. You can see the toughness of the coupon. 2.65 the favourite here, 2.57 for both of these two teams here. Very, very tough to read. Sheffield Wednesday, Birmingham, should have a banker potential about it for Brum. Sheffield Wednesday are on minus points. And we learnt our lesson from old Rod, didn't we? At the weekend, Hull have an injury crisis, but it didn't stop them beating Southampton. On form, that's what we expected them to have. The market has taken that into account against Preston. Hull's form is brilliant, but there is still that injury crisis. So it's a very tough. They might turn up in play stats. You might see the real Hull. Wrexham and Leicester. Well, you can have a quick look at the form here. As I say, I've done the AII for members only. I'm not doing any proper research. It's just a pointless exercise. It really is. Coming off the back of 5 wins in all competitions for Wrexham, and look at their home form as well. Not too shabby, is it? Beating Preston, Sheffield United, that's an impressive win as well. Wrexham drawing against Watford, Blackburn, beating Bristol City, Charlton and Coventry. It's all very impressive stuff at home. I tend to see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive both teams to score matches at home for Leicester City. For Wrexham, how about Leicester City away from home? They're falling off the radar a little, and the market is getting a bit lukewarm about Leicester City now, considering they're newly relegated. You'd have expected them to be a lot more competitive. They did score first against Coventry, who were 1.6. Coventry went on and got the win there. But 3 defeats and 4, both teams scoring as well. So if Leicester score today, they might be vulnerable. It was a 1-1 the last time these two met, right at the start of the season. But Leicester City, we might want to take the cues from the market, who don't fancy them at all at the moment. For a newly relegated side, normally expect them to be odds-on favourite, wouldn't you, throughout? And attempt to go straight back up. But look at this, it's awful odds. Elsewhere, you just play it by ear. It's as simple as that, really. I think Ipswich, verging on banker material at home, have been very, very reliable. Stevenage against Bolton. Well, we can have a quick AII on this one. So here's my trading predictor. Stevenage and Bolton. I use this in 2.4 plus the favourite matches, and in Championship, League 1 and League 2 matches. As you can see, all of those Championship matches yesterday I was looking at. It's a great little tool created from the Google AI Studio, and it's going to be something I want to be passing on to members. I've got to get a new website built because we don't want to be using Thrivecart for another year. It's far too expensive, particularly when I don't have that many subscribers. It's all about fine margins. I love doing this job, so I'm quite happy. I want to grow it. I want to make a decent income out of it. But you make your money with your football trading as well, as you've seen. So let's see what the AII has to say about Stevenage and Bolton today. And here it is. 8th against Bolton Wanderers 5th. So it's a top 10 clash already. So we've got to be a little careful with that. Morale boosting 1-0 win against Wigan for Bolton, despite losing key striker Marcus Force to a hamstring injury. Stevenage are in a slump, winless in 6, coming off a heavy 3-0 home defeat to Exeter, with manager Alex Revel calling for a reaction. Recent sale of Bolton's Dion Charles to Huddersfield, an injury to Force. So it's interesting. We might have some important Bolton team players absent. The market is, does it agree? Indeed. So AI has picked up the correct odds, which I'm delighted with. So 2.15 is very lukewarm, isn't it? It's not odds on, but it's not a 2.4 the favourite match. So yes, they're giving a nod towards Bolton, but they're just acknowledging, I think, that the new or the absence of the key striker. Under 2.5 goals is the AI today, laying Stevenage. Again, favouring the draw and Bolton today. Do read the reasoning. If you like the reasoning, then go with it. Again, AI has used common sense. If your main striker is injured and your main goal scorer is being sold, then you might not be able to get the usual goals that we expect. Key stats. Bolton are missing 2 key forwards. We know that already. Stevenage winless in 6. They've lost 50% of their 6 matches. Under 2.5 goals has landed in 67% of Bolton away matches. So, yeah, Mason Burstow, 1 shot on target. Expected goals. This might not be accurate. I have to check with AI whether it's accurate or not. But average goals for is 1.05, which is very poor. But it's not as good with Bolton. The defences are okay, giving sides enough to score a goal, but struggle to score a second. That's how I would read that. So I think it's well worth doing this, AI. I'm going to print this off and pass it on to members at FootballTradingProfits.com today. So they'll have something to refer to. Well worth doing. Now we've got a fair indicator, don't we? Do please read these previews. As with Tennis 24, the previews are exceptional. And guess what? They're free. Professional Development League, known for its overs, if you're up around 1 o'clock. And in the Champions League, I've done research for members today. It's all about standings. You've got the likes of, well, I don't think Benfica are playing today, but they're just outside. We've got Napoli and Copenhagen, 23rd and 24th. They're just on the cusp of this important top 24 berth. So that's how I would handle these matches today. Look at Kairat Almaty all the way down at the bottom, and look at Villarreal versus Ajax later on. You want to trust this lot at 1.38 in the Champions League. They are awful. They are brilliant in La Liga, but they just can't get anything done in the Champions League. I don't understand. It's a mental block or something. But you wouldn't be trusting Villarreal and Ajax, would you? But especially with Ajax, 3 points, and suddenly you are a point away from that golden top 24. So Ajax got plenty to work with. Tottenham and Dortmund, well, 2 sides happily ensconced near the top 10. A win for these 2 will get them into that top 8, which they crave as well. Sporting and PSG. You've got the form lines as well, just here. So have a quick look at the form lines. A loss for Sporting recently. PSG, only recent loss against Bayern Munich, I think. They look more accomplished of the 2 sides, don't they? Real Madrid and Monaco. Real Madrid, coming off the back of 2 defeats in 3. They've got to sort this out. Manchester City and Liverpool been the sides to beat Real Madrid so far. They've got to get back to winning ways. They're happily ensconced in 12th place, but there's plenty of this lot with a win, happy to take over and push them down. So it's vital that Real Madrid get something today. Olympiacos and Leverkusen. Well, Leverkusen are awful pre-Champions League in the Bundesliga. 2 consecutive defeats pre-Champions League, and they need a booster. A win would zoom them all the way up to the potential top 9, top 8. So that's the importance of a win. That's probably why they keep losing in the Bundesliga. They've got this in mind. 2.5 the favourite. Olympiacos have been involved in a European final recently, but they are in trouble. But yet again, 3 points, and they're zooming into the top 24 with a degree of ease. Inter Milan and Arsenal will be an absolute humdinger. 2.63 the favourite. Can't read that one at all. Bodo Glimt, well, their season in the Norwegian Elite Serie hasn't even begun yet. So they're in a spot of bother. Man City are all the way up here in 4th place. But Bodo Glimt, they're in 32nd. But yet again, you see what 3 points will do. It'll take you just on the cusp of the top 24 placings. But good luck with them today. Kairat Almaty are bottom. Borat's boys. Club Brugge need to start winning. They've got goals in them, but they need to start winning. 31st. But again, add 3 to that, and you're all the way up to 7, which is a top 24 berth. So there's plenty of motivation with these sides today. Well, we're going over the 20-minute mark, so I'll just give a mention to Saudi Arabian League. Look for the team news when it arrives. I don't think we'll see it, but there are some real standout stars. I think this is Ronaldo's side, is it? Let's have a look. Because we had that side the other day. We need to see some of these big names. We're not seeing any real big names, are we? Firmino, there we go. Let's have a look at the squad. This will be more like it. Any real standouts like we saw Darwin Núñez, etc. I don't see any real standout stars for Al Ahly at the moment. So maybe not one of those focuses today. I might pop on at 7:45 for a go live on YouTube, but it will be for subscribers only. So make sure you subscribe to youtube.com/@FootballTradingProfits. Subscribers only go live possible at 7:45 this evening. It might be a damp squib, to be honest. I don't like playing the Championship, and the Champions League can be a little too obvious for us not to have trading angles, but we will see. Have a great day, and I might see you later for a go live, but make sure you subscribe.